And we're gonna pack.
Okay, well, I want to say good morning to the Raw family, aka Cardinal Ritter College Prep. My name is Ajuma Mohammed. I am a proud alumni of Cardinal Ritter High School, which I think is the #1 high school on the planet Earth. And so I am very, very proud to have attended there. I was a former athlete with Cardinal Ritter College Prep, one of the first people to graduate from Cardinal Ritter and receive an athletic scholarship in basketball and track. So I am very, very proud to come to you. And I hope by the grace of God, hopefully I can say something that will inspire each and every one of you all and motivate you guys. So with that being said, I am originally from St. Louis, and I was blessed to go to Cardinal Ritter, and it really prepared me for college and graduate school and so on and so forth. So I want to say to each and every one of you all, you are at a very, very powerful and proud institution. And what you make, what the effort that you put into it will be the effort that you see on the back end of life. And so cherish the moments at Cardinal Ritter. That time will come and go very, very quickly. So cherish the moments, get involved, be positive, maintain a positive attitude and disposition. So what I want to share with you guys is I have been blessed to go to 60 different countries throughout the world. And one of the countries that I go to often is a country in West Africa called Ghana. And I met a good friend of mine about 25, 30 years ago. His name is Francis Mensah, and I'm going to show you a picture of him in just a few minutes. But he is a teacher and a pastor at one of the high schools. The high school is called Egufo-Abrem Senior High School. And our goal is to develop a international pen pal program where students from Cardinal Ritter, my high school, can connect with the students in Africa, and you guys develop a friendship, a bond, and ongoing communication. And the ultimate goal at the end of the day is to hopefully you guys can maybe go and visit Africa and spend a semester there, and maybe students in Africa can come to America and spend a semester here. And then that way you can learn about the culture. One of the things that I talked to Mr. Kasen about is that we wanted to dismantle the ignorance that most African Americans or Americans have about the country of Africa. So I'm going to show you some very, very colorful pictures this morning, and you'll see that Africa is a developing country. It's not perfect, but it's a developing country. And so we want to dismantle the ignorance. We want to create a sense of unity and cooperation. And maybe at some point down the road, you guys may want to do international business. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to show you some photos. So hang tight. So can you guys see my computer screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to read something real quick, and then we'll move on to the photos. So this is a brochure that we created. It's the International Pen Pal program. And a little bit about it says Egufo-Abrem Senior High School in Ghana, West Africa has approximately 2,500 students, along with Akoma International Academy Elementary and Middle School that currently serves approximately 500 students. So right now, by the grace of God, I've been blessed to support over 3,000 students. So the students that you guys are going to be connecting with, that high school has 2,500 students. So if you move over here, you see my cursor where it says long-term goal. It says to develop a student exchange program where a designated number of students in America and Ghana will attend the other's country school for a semester to better learn about cultural differences. That's what I just said before I pulled the brochure up. Then it says, how does it work? Students and staff will communicate directly with their designated pen pal through various social media platforms. If you use WhatsApp, if you use email, if you use FaceTime. Students will be encouraged to maintain a bi-monthly communication with each other to achieve maximum rapport with one another. So we want to extend and broaden your friendship and your connections internationally. Classroom teachers will organize a monthly Zoom meeting with classroom teachers in Ghana, West Africa, to facilitate group dialogue and discussion among students to create greater understanding and awareness. Students will write reports about their personal experiences of having international pen pals and share them with the group by Zoom. So that's everything in a nutshell that we want to achieve. So I'm gonna move on to some photos. Okay, let me come back to that. Okay, so the gentleman that, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, great. So the gentleman to the right, his name is Francis Mensah. I met him over 25, 27 years ago. We've been personal friends. That's a picture of the school in the back, Egufo-Abrem Senior High School. And this gentleman here is the pastor at the school and a teacher. Here's another picture of Francis and I in Africa, in the motherland. And so what you see right here are students who are receiving bikes. A lot of students live a good distance away from the school. And so they have to walk to school. Some of them might have to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles to school. So I support this school financially, and I made a number of different donations for students, needy students, to receive bicycles. So what you're seeing is pictures of students who have just received their first bicycle, and they use that to go to school. Here's another student receiving a brand new bike. You see how happy they are. You see Francis in the background right here. Another student receiving a bike. These students take bicycles very, very serious. Also, too, you guys may or may not know that students in Africa, they have to pay to go to school. And a lot of times these students don't have a whole lot of money. So the opportunity to go to school is very, very significant for them. And the idea that they can have a bike to ride to school is very, very important. Okay. A couple friends of mine supported me in this initiative, and we sent a couple $1,000s over. And so far, we've been able to purchase over 50 bicycles. Our goal is to purchase 100 bicycles for the students. And this is the school that has over 2,500 students. Okay. More students receiving bikes, more bikes, more bikes. So you can see the students very happy. Right here is a picture of just a simple meal that they eat in Africa. I'm gonna show you a couple of different ones. Okay. Africans eat very, very healthy. They don't eat a lot of fast food, so they cook from home. And I think this dish here is rice and fish with salad with boiled eggs. Let me come back a little bit. Okay, this is the avocado, an egg, and a salad right here. And so just to give you some idea of the way Africans eat. This is me speaking to students in Africa, and this was just last year. And it was approximately 2,500 students that I was speaking with in that moment. Okay. The university in Africa in Ghana is called the University of Cape Coast, and you see me standing in front of it. Okay, here's some more food that Africans eat. They eat a variety of foods, okay? Sometime in America, you hear really negative stereotypes that Africans eat dogs and just some really berserk stereotypes. They eat just like we do, but mainly they eat from home and they don't eat a lot of fast food. So in this case here, you see rice and vegetables. You see like a tuna salad, and this right here is called a red sauce. They typically eat it with most meals. It has a lot of ginger and spices in it. It's really healthy for you. So you can see up close, rice and vegetables. Nothing wrong with that. That's a healthy meal. These are some students that I was working with in Ghana at one of the other schools, and I'm just showing you pictures. You know, I never thought in a million years that a guy like me from St. Louis would be able to travel to so many different countries throughout the world. And I want to encourage you two guys to learn different languages. The average African student speaks about 4 or 5 different languages fluently, and they even speak English. English is not their native language. They speak a language called Haza or Tree, and depending on the country that you're in, they probably speak somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 different languages. So it's important that while you're at school at Cardinal Ritter, that you really take your language learning serious, because you never know when you might need it. Okay, this is the group that I was speaking to. There's approximately 2,500 students. You see all of the students in uniform. That's how they identified students, because no matter what school they go to, they're always wearing different uniforms. And that was 2,500 students that day. It's another angle of the students that day. Okay, now I think I want to shift to some videos. So hang on one second. Then I want to open the floor for some questions for you guys. So I want you guys to hear this interview that I did with students. And let me know if you can hear.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.
Can you guys hear that?
We got it perfectly.
Okay, awesome. So this is the school that I was at, Egufo, and the administration had called several students into the office just for me to talk to. So I did a little short interview. I want you to check it out. It's about a minute long.
This is Ajuma Mohammed here in West Africa, the motherland. I'm here at one of my adopted schools, and I would like for you to meet some of the students that those of you who have chosen to support me. This is where your monies are going and the students who are benefiting from it. So I'm gonna turn the camera on these guys here. Can you tell me your name?
I'm Faustina Fenabana from Tema Community 2. When I go on to become a pharmacist.
And tell me, what do you want to be when you grow up, and how old are you?
I'm 17 years. When I go on to become a pharmacist.
A pharmacist,
Yes,
okay.
please.
Yeah, I heard that guy. She wants to be a pharmacist. We got to support that. And you are?
I'm okay to Donna.
Okay. What do you want to be when you grow up, and how old are
I
you?
want to be a doctor in the future. I'm 16 years old.
16 years old and a future doctor. Okay. And your name? And
I'm Leona with Accra. I'm 16 years old. When I grow up, I want to become a nurse.
a nurse.
Yes.
Okay, we need doctors and nurses and all of that. And who is this young man right here? What's your name?
My name is Brad Ponye, and I
Brad?
want to be a dentist in future.
You want to be a
I'm
dentist?
17 years old.
And you're 17 years old. Okay, awesome. And who is this?
My name is Smith Samson Jeremiah. I am 16 years of age, and I want to be a pilot in the future.
A pilot.
Yes, please.
So you'll be flying me from America to Ghana, huh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Guys, I really appreciate you all. Outstanding young people, young citizens of the world. Again, this is Brother Juma Muhammad, and you see where I'm at. I'm right here in the motherland, Ghana, West Africa. And again, these are just some of the students. There's the staff, the principal, the head person, and the other support staff. And so this is what we're doing. So you can see, brothers and sisters, I'm here on business. You can see our young people who have a bright future and they're eager to learn. So with that, I greet you with the greeting words of peace by saying Assalamu alaikum. Let's get behind them. Let's support this initiative. Thank you. Peace.
Okay, that's one of my videos. Hang on. Going to show you this one here. These are students who had come to the auditorium. Their auditorium is located outside, but they were coming to the auditorium to hear some remarks and words from me and a greeting from America. So this video is 1 minute and 47 seconds. So hang on. I was traveling in a car up to the main building, and I recorded this sequence here.
These are the students here. Egufo High School in Accra, Ghana. Turn that music down, turn that up. These are the students here. My students, where Brother Francis teaches at right here. From what I understand, they're all coming out to hear me speak. So by God's grace, I'll say something that will empower them. This is a lot of students. How many students attend here, Francis? Over 2,000 students go here. So wow, look at this here, y'all. 2,000 students. So your donations will certainly help in this cause to educate and empower African brothers and sisters across the water. So look at this. All of these students. This is beautiful. And notice that they're all in uniform as well. Here comes some more students coming my way. I'm in the car videotaping. See the students looking very intelligent, very inspiring here. Very inspiring. Okay, I'll get back with y'all later.
Okay, that's another video. Two more little short videos, and then we'll open the floor for questions. This is the rally that they were going to, where the students were coming.
I have become Sudan's international man because I know a lot of people now because of him. So, some of his friends, apart from him, in the same 2019, after he came and went, a group also came and brought them to school. Another group from California, US, he's from Missouri, St. Louis. Another group came and I brought them to school. So now that he came, anytime he comes, I'm staying with him right in my house. We are in the same place. So, God willing, he'll be coming every year to see you. So there's a lot in his heart. Without wasting much time, he has just a few words for us before because. So we want to welcome Dr. Ajuma Mohammed to speak to the students for how to see how he loves the students. God bless my big bro. Now we need to listen.
So I'm going to show you one last video. So guys, if you notice when they speak a little different English. It's Ghana was colonized by the British, the Portuguese, and the Dutch, but they speak a British form of English. They speak English, but they speak it with a little different accent. So the last video that I'm going to show you, and then we'll open the floor for some questions. As you know, that many Africans were enslaved. Our ancestors were enslaved. They were brought to America. And one of the countries where they brought slaves from, I hate to use the word slaves, so I'm going to say enslaved African, was Ghana. And what you're looking at is a slave dungeon. And these dungeons were really like torture chambers where they held our ancestors in, and our ancestors were brutally beaten, raped, killed, maimed, whatever you can think of that was dehumanizing. And this is one of the buildings that still exists today in Ghana, where people visit frequently to see the horrors that took place during slavery. And then within this building is a door called the Door of No Return. And once you walked outside of that door, you never set foot back in Africa. You were brought to America to be slaves and to pick cotton and to be brutalized in America. But this is the last video, so check it out.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Brother Ajuma Muhammad gave me a short narration. I'm at the slave dungeon in Ghana, West Africa. As you can see up here, you see the sign that says male slave dungeon. Again, this is where many of our ancestors were beaten and brutalized. Go ahead and walk inside so you can actually see it. Okay, this floor is the floor of human remains. You can see what it looks like on the inside. It's like a dark cave with very little light. You receive no food and water. There was harsh brutality for the enslaved African who did not want to comply with the master's wishes and rules and requests. And so you can see literally it's a dark, dingy place with no life, where a lot of brutality and punishment was divvied out to the slave, I hate to use the word slave, but enslaved African who was brought here against his and her will and brutalized. But this floor is the floor of human remains. Every time I come here, it's always a very eerie feeling because I know I'm walking on the ancestors' grave. I'm actually walking on human flesh that is buried and meshed into the concrete. So the stench of the human remains and body degradation still exists and is still here. So just give a little window into where I am. Hope this encourages you, inspires you to learn more about your history and culture. Take a trip to West Africa. Peace.
So I want to kind of just leave it at that right now. those places were like torture chambers, and those floors were the remains of human beings whose bodies had meshed into the floor. And what I hope you guys take away from this is that many people died for you guys to have the social liberties and opportunities to go to school and to learn. And so you guys have a debt to your ancestors to be the best person and the best version that you possibly can be. And I'd like to thank Mr. Kasen for the opportunity to say a few words to you. I hope you guys are open to the opportunity to build international relationships. Maybe at some point you guys may want to consider doing international business in Africa. Africa is 3.5 times the size of the United States, and it's a very, very beautiful country. Some countries are impoverished and some countries are not. And just like in America, you have wealthy, super wealthy and elite, you have middle class, you have upper middle class, you have rich, you have people who are below class, and you have people who live in poverty. Africa is the same way. You have people who are very rich, super rich. You have the middle class, and you have people who have very limited resources. But one thing I can tell you about Africa is a very beautiful place, and people on the African continent will warmly welcome you and receive you. And they want to learn more about America, and you should want to learn more about Africa. So I'm just going to kind of leave it right there for right now. Mr. Kasen, I really, really appreciate the opportunity to say a few words to the students. I hope they are motivated and at least excited about the possibility of building some international relationships. So why don't we open the floor for some questions now?
Okay. Anybody have any thoughts? And really, please, speak up because, again, Ajuma's a Cardinal Ritter person, and he's somebody that cares. He's not just here to talk; he really cares about what happens at this school very profoundly. Yes, China. Did you hear that, Ajuma?
No, I did not. What did she say?
She wanted to know when the writing could actually start.
Well, as you know, Mr. Kasen, I sent you that folder with the students and their contact information, and I'm not sure where we are with the students and how we want to pair them up. So it can start as soon as we kind of get organized and identify who's going to be talking to who and what platform they're going to use. Do you still have that folder?
Well, I'm sure I do. I mean, I don't I don't remember where, but I've got it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can follow back up with that. So that's
Sure.
not a problem. So if you would give us maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks, we can get the process started. So tell me what you guys think about it. Is it something that you're interested in? Is it something you're not interested in? Tell me, be honest with me, because we're putting a lot of effort into it. And just because I see it one way don't necessarily mean you guys see it the same way. So is it something you're interested in? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? We don't want to force it upon you, because if we force it upon you, then, you're going to half-heartedly participate. But if it's something you're excited about, then, you put more effort into it. This is my gift to you guys. Like I said, I'm born and raised right here in St. Louis, North St. Louis to be exact. And I was blessed to go to Cardinal Ritter, and I had mentors like Mr. Thomas and Mr. Henderson, and your president, Ms. Tamiko Cunningham, is a very good friend of mine. She was a student of my African American Role Model Program many, many years. So I know Coach Reed, I know Coach Jackson, and so I'm very, very in tune with the Cardinal Ritter family experience. I watch you guys football, basketball. You have a rich legacy and a beautiful history, and we're just trying to take it to the next level. So give me some feedback and let me know if this is something you guys are interested in.
By the way, we're in Coach Reed's room right now, and I was talking to him this morning before school, and he was really excited because he had talked to you about the fact that you were going to be doing this. And then also, let me say to the students, you're going to be back here in 2 weeks on the 3rd of October. And so we're going to be following up with even more students at that time. But go ahead, talk about how you guys feel on this. Okay, speak up really good here so he can hear you. Sure. And I mean, here's an interesting thing. Who in here has ever written a letter to anybody in your life? Okay, cool. Well, so it's really nice to write letters. I can tell you right now, the only letters I've ever written, well, I long ago, but the only letters I've written in recent time is, typing them up and printing, so actually writing to somebody is kind of a cool thing, real writing. But anyway, again, that's just me talking, but how do you feel?
And guys, let me say this to you before you.
I got a student who wants to, go ahead.
Way to like break down stereotypes on both sides. I feel like Americans view people in Africa a certain way, and African people view Americans a certain way. So I think to be able to communicate and like figure out what really is and what really isn't, as well as I don't want to say like humanize or like make people with other continents and countries the same as like in our minds. Because I feel like sometimes we think of other people as very, very different or like not actual, like not ready to be like us. So I think being able to talk to them and realize that like we're all kids, like in the same, like we're the same age, do the same types of things. Like I think it would be a good experience.
Yeah, and what you just said is, as far as, breaking down stereotypes on both sides, because there's no question that around the world, and for good reason, that people view Americans as being very arrogant. And, for students in Africa to find out that you all are just students like they are is really a cool thing.
So, Mark, can you repeat her question or statement? Because I can't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
On my end.
Yeah, she was just saying that this whole idea is an opportunity to break down stereotypes on both sides, so that they can see Americans in a different way than maybe they have in the past, and we can see them as well and realize that we're all just students. We're all teenagers.
Absolutely. And let me say something about that that's very, very important. Most Americans have a very negative image of Africa. And it's because we've been programmed that way. Social media and the media has influenced our way of thinking. Many people, before I went to Africa, I could not envision that they had cars, that they had buildings, that they had schools, that they had libraries, because the image that the West paints of Africa is very, very negative. It's a very dark, negative stereotype. And what you guys don't know is that the media has also influenced Africans and made them socially, psychologically, almost hate Americans or African Americans. Many Africans think that people in America, as Mark said, are very arrogant, that Americans like to fight, they like to smoke drugs. A guy in Africa asked me the question. He he called me Brother Muhammad. He said, Brother Muhammad, he said, I don't understand. I watch YouTube all the time. And when people in America get into a fight, how come nobody breaks it up? He said, everybody pull out their camera, they videotape it, and then they upload it to social media, and then, it ends up on World Star or everybody's laughing at it. He say in Africa, if two people get in a fight, 30 people are gonna run in, they're gonna break it up, and they don't even have to know the people that's fighting. So it's a lot of negative images that Africans have about Americans and African Americans. Many Africans think that African Americans are lazy, but social media made them think that. And so this is a wonderful, great opportunity to really dismantle the ignorance and the stereotypes that both countries have about the other. Does that make sense to you guys, or does it not make sense?
And like it.
Let me hear from some more people, guys. And guys, remember when I say guys, I mean guys and girls. Be a leader. Don't be afraid to be different. Okay, leaders run the world. Cool people just run around in it. I work with young people. I'm a clinician. I'm a therapist, a psychotherapist by trade. I'm a former teacher and I'm a former principal. So I work with young people all the time. So I know it's not necessarily cool to just, you know, raise your hand up and ask a question or show leadership. Don't be afraid to be different. It's okay. Leaders run the world. So let me hear from maybe a couple more people. I can't really tell just from looking at you guys' body language. Everybody seems to be real comfortable and cool. So I don't know if you're interested or not interested. But again, I need to kind of hear from you. You know, I know what I want to do. Mr. Kasen is on board with it, but it has to be something that you guys want to do. So I can't read your minds. I need you to use your words. Tell me what you're thinking.
What do you guys see as an obstacle? Yeah. What's an obstacle?
Yeah. Yeah, there might be some feelings of discomfort at first, not knowing each other. But I can tell you this, you know, if this is so simple. I mean, if I were a high school student, I mean, I would be getting a piece of paper, pulling out a pen, writing a letter like so fast, I wouldn't even be hesitating, put it in an envelope and mail it off and be waiting to see what kind of a response I'm going to get. I mean, it's that simple. This is not a complicated kind of thing. This is a really open door kind of opportunity that you can make anything you want out of it, and it's not going to take a gigantic time, you know, out of your life. I know you guys are really outstanding scholars, and you have lots of things to do. You get busy. You got all of us teachers putting projects on you and all kinds of things to do. But on the other hand, I mean, to take out a pen and paper, write somebody a letter, put it in an envelope and mail it out, sounds exciting to me.
Hey, Mark, let me just jump in just for a second.
Sure.
So guys, really, we're in a modern age now. So you don't have to pull out a pen. You don't even have to write a letter. You can just send a text. You know, there's an app called WhatsApp, or you can FaceTime them. So, you know, we don't even, that's old school. You don't have to pull out no paper. You don't have to write, you don't have to put a letter in the mail. Just, you already texting. Y'all text all day, every day. So, you know, why not text somebody overseas? So it's an app called WhatsApp that you can just text the person, they'll get it. They'll send you pictures and images, and they'll communicate with you on a regular basis. So, you know, that cell phone is your gateway to the world. So you don't have to write anything. You're already texting. So, you know, if you're open to it, it's just that simple. Pull out the phone like you always do, send a text.
And they all know WhatsApp, and they all have a phone. No question. This is just, you know, 71-year-old Kasen, you know,
Yeah.
trying, you know, go back to, you know, better times, but that's all right. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say you're dating yourself, but that's cool too.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in a different era now. Well, like I say, the phone is your gateway to the world. Simple text, boom, 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 and you're done. You know. So, Mr. Kasen, why don't we do this? I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the students. Why don't you get a feel for what they want to do? If this is something they're interested in, if they're interested in it, we can make it happen. If they're not interested in it, we can put it on a shelf. It's whatever you guys want to do, because you guys are going to be the one carrying the load. We're just introducing the concept to you. And if you want to maintain these relationships, cool. They may turn into future business relationships down the road. And it's great to be able to, hopefully one of these days you'll take a trip to Africa and you'll learn so much. I'll close with this. There's a saying, it's better to go to a place once or go to Africa once than to read about it in a book 1,000 times. You can go to the movie, you can see, you know, what you guys saw yesterday or this past weekend at the movies, or you can actually go for yourself and learn firsthand. So, Mr. Kasen, again, I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words. Guys, dream big, think big, and the world is yours. The world is yours. And the decisions you make now are going to affect the next 30, 40 years of your life. And this is a wonderful opportunity. And hopefully you guys will get it. So, Mr. Kasen, why don't you just plan on getting back to me maybe later today or tomorrow and give me some idea just, you know, which direction they want to go in, if it's something that they're interested in. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm looking at their body language. So it's kind of hard to tell. So
Yeah, no, I think they're very interested, but I also want to point out, and this is not dated information. This is forever information. And that is that biologically, our teenagers absolutely hate to be awake at 8:30 in the morning. Just no way around it. But they're okay. I think another hour or two they'll come alive. So
gotcha. Hey guys, it's been a pleasure talking with you all. I hope to talk to you again. I hope you got something out of this experience. I hope it wasn't boring. Hope it was cool. And hopefully soon I'll see you guys in person.
Thank you, Ajuma, very much.
All right, guys, take care and have a blessed day. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.